In this section, we'll be discussing science, engineering and mathematics. Firstly, I'll go over the science and mathematics parts. So science and math are a kind of loose descriptor you can use to describe so many different careers and degrees. In this specific example, the science we're using in relation to the car is physics. So the forces that are involved, most importantly, are gravity and friction. So the gravity will pull the car towards the ground, and as it's going down the slope, the friction will pull back on the wheels, slowing it down.
Engineering makes up the E in STEAM. We like to say that engineers use maths and science to design solutions and solve problems that make people's lives easier. There are three main types of engineers. We have civil, which deal with stationary things like bridges, and then we have mechanical, which deal with anything that moves, like cars or engines, and then we have electrical engineers, which is what I am, which deal with electricity. Well, what I love most about engineering is in college I always loved maths and science, physics, things like that, but I didn't really know how I could apply that. So what I really love about engineering is the fact that I can apply these theoretical concepts in a creative way to design solutions like for the derby car, to develop things that solve problems. The most challenging thing about engineering, I guess, would be that there's a lot of theoretical concepts, a lot of maths and a lot of science. So it involves a lot of study. But usually if I just work hard, work with my peers, think about the problem, I can usually come up with a solution and work through it. A project that inspired me was in first year, I travelled to Cambodia with Engineers Without Borders Australia. I was given the task of developing a humanitarian engineering solution to a problem faced by the community.
Engineering can lead to so many careers. You can do something that is engineering specific, like go work in power or become a civil engineer, but there are also so many other things you can apply this degree to. And for example, a lot of CEOs now will have an engineering degree instead of an MBA.
A really important thing to consider when you are making your car is the property of the materials you're using. For example, hard and stiff materials will make your car more durable and more likely to survive the whole track. Lightweight materials will make your car more efficient, and other materials will make your car have less drag, so it will become more aerodynamic.
As engineers, when we are solving a problem, we use something called the engineering design process. So there are 5 steps in the engineering design process. The first one is to identify the problem. So what's our problem here? We need to get a car from the top of the ramp to the bottom. So the second step is to brainstorm. How are you going to tackle that? What are your ideas? How are you going to do it? Talk about it with your friends or your family. Just get a lot of ideas on the page. The third step is to design your car. You can draw it on a piece of paper, write down all the notes of what you'd like it to have, how the wheels work, what the body looks like. The fourth step of the design process is to build your car. Make it from the materials you have and go according to your design. The fifth step is to test your car. Put it on a ramp and see if it gets to the bottom. And if you get to the end of the design process and it doesn't work, you can redesign, rebuild and retest until you get it right.